welcome to my very first ever scrapbook layout. I've never done this before, but I have watched many videos from my sister, and as you can see I use the deco foil gel where all the silver dots and stars are, and then just waited for it to dry and then just rubbed over my silver foil. I use deco foil, and then I found this perfect piece of card in my scrap pile to make a pocket for my milestone cards that I'd made. So the reason I decided to do a scrapbook layout was for a few different reasons. Firstly, to see if I could do it, and if I try and get rid of a few of my offcuts and things that I have from doing all my footprints and designs and stuff for my customers. So yeah, use them up. I don't want to waste them. So the photos here that I'm actually scrapping are of my little baby cousin, who is not very old at all, and I'm going to do a few of them just to show people sort of how you can use the milestone cards that I've designed as journaling cards. So basically you take your photos at the time, and then right on the back of the cards, all your journaling notes and things like that at the time that you take the photo, so that you don't forget. Because when you're a mum, I don't know about all mums, but any mum that I've spoken to, you get mummy brain from lack of sleep, and you don't remember a lot of things. So that's what I found from my experience, and one of the reasons I designed my milestone cards the way that I are, so they're matte, so that they're good for taking photos. They don't have a sheen on them, and also they can be written on at the back, and they have a notes section and a date section at the back. So I found the that piece of paper in my scrap pile of cut card, and it was a perfect size for my milestone card for this particular photo, which had been taken by my cousin of her little baby, and it says on it, "Today I smiled." So I just glued that to the page where I wanted it with a thin line of adhesive. Now what I did which you couldn't really see, is I made sure that it wasn't stretched flat. I just made it a little bit loose, so that when you put the card in, it was easy enough to do. Then I've got two photos that I wanted to put on this layout, and I've just backed them with some white cardstock. And I actually I started this last night after having dinner with my mum and my stepdad, and had a few wines, and I'd cut the white lines a little bit skew with, so the border that I had on there wasn't as big as I like to have it. So what I decided to do was actually back it again with black cardstock, and when I looked at it, and I'd looked at the colour of the milestone cards with the black flecks and things through it, I thought actually that's going to work really well. So it was a happy accident, and just using the scrapbook.com adhesive, which I really like using. It's the permanent adhesive one. There's still a little bit of use a little bit of give in taking it off. It's not too bad. Okay, the second time round using my eyeballs worked well. So, So what I'm trying to do is use as much, I don't know, I don't know if it's 1/4 inch, 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 1/4 in out of my pile of cards that I can possibly use. So the black's out of my box, black card is out of my box. I'm using some bits of new paper, but it's not anything that I've there you go, fits perfectly. I also chopped off the corners to make them round. So yeah, with the stars and dots that I've done, I actually designed a cut file, and I just used cardstock and cut that out and yeah, put it through the silhouette machine and cut it out. And I used that as a guide to do the silver background at the back. Nothing really fancy, it was just so give me a better guide of what I wanted. Sometimes I find designing things in the computer before I do them helps me with my process. So that was sort of the start of my process, I guess, was fiddling on the computer first. Cool. So now I'm going through this sheet and I'm picking out the greens and blues that go with my paper. And I'm actually picking different patterns than what I've actually got on the page, just to give it some contrast and some more interest. And just putting them in half because I didn't want them so thick. And just using my trimmer to trim those off. So what I'm going to do with these strips is actually lay them across to sort of cover the pocket, so it's not so square, and lay it across there. So you'll see me laying them out and trying to get the look that I'm after. I don't want them perfect, but I'm just using it to cover up the pocket so everything's not so perfect and straight and nice and neat, just to create some more interest and texture on the page. So here I am laying out the different colours, and I don't want even strips, so I'm just figuring out which ones I want and which ones I don't want and how I'm going to do that. So this is the next part of my process, is making sure I'm getting the photos in the right place and putting them where I want them to be. So that's what I'm doing. I'm really just thinking about how it's going to look when it's finished and what exactly I want. Now I think my daughter is awake again, so I may have to go and sort her out. Okay, I'm back. Yes, she was awake. We give her this torch to take to bed because she likes the light on, and we say if she gets out of bed that we'll take the torch off her. So that was the second time out of bed, so we took the torch off her, so we had to wait a bit of a while and then give it back to her. Now she won't get back up again. Do you have a ritual with your kids for bedtime every night? Oh, seriously, it does my head in. Up and down and up and down. Someone said to me once, oh, how do you stay slim? And I'm like, when you don't go to the gym? And I'm like, I've got a toddler. You know, I'm pretty forever like up and down the hall every night, 20 times. Right, so here I am, and I've cut down cut down all the strips to the length that I want, and now I'm just doing some of them with turning them into banners and just making them not doing them all the same, just doing the old one. Some of them I'm doing a banner at each side and just picking it at random, no particular order. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing there. give it some more interest. And that one down the bottom, it still has a bit of a white strip on it, and when I cut it off I thought, oh, I'll trim that off with the trimmer, and then I decided not to, and I'm actually glad that I didn't, because it actually looks quite nice with the white in there. Just makes it not so green and blue everywhere. So that actually gave me the idea of putting the ribbon in there, the white ribbon, to put some more white in there to make it, yeah, just put some more colour in there, make things pop out. So I've decided that I'm putting my title at the bottom left corner. This is actually from an inspiration post on the Kidaholic subscribers page that I'm using, and on their sketch, I think they're called, they had the date down the bottom left corner and the title, I think, up the top right hand corner. I can't quite remember, but because I'm using the milestone cards and it's got the journaling on the back of it and with the date, I decided I didn't need the date down the bottom corner. I didn't need it again, so I decided that was where my title was going to go. So that's why I had that black piece of card, just to try and figure out the size and sort of what I wanted to put there. But then I think I decided to not use that. Cool, so I'm happy with how that's looking. Just double checking again. And these are that's one of the little ribbon cards I made. So with that, I don't know if you saw it, so I just made it a bit longer than the card on each side, and it's just straight. And I just used the Scrapbook.com permanent adhesive on the back, and then just folded the ribbon on the back. I didn't put any glue in the front because I have a fear of things sticking to it and it not looking quite right. So you see there, I just put a little bit of adhesive on each side of that top banner, and I actually ended up moving it later because I wasn't quite happy with it. I was trying to use it to cover up the card a bit more and hide it, but I didn't actually really like it there after I stuck it. So I ended up moving that one. And that's how I found out that the adhesive, the permanent adhesive, is actually kind to you, and it does let you move it for a little while. So it didn't damage the paper or anything when I lifted it off. Okay, so I'm just putting some foam on the back of my two photos to pop them up, make them stand out, placing them back again to make sure that I'm happy with having them on the foam, and just filling around with things and making sure that I'm happy with where I'm placing it all. I always check and recheck and recheck, and the part of the reason I do it is my brain wanders and I forget what I'm doing. So I have to stop, and I have to just reassess and make sure that what I'm thinking is right, and I haven't veered off track and gone, I don't know, somewhere really wild. This is why I like doing this, because it does help me just focus on one thing rather than having lots of things going around in my brain all the time. And look how cute my cousin is. Look at that gorgeous smile. I've only seen him the once. I need to go around and visit again. Okay, so the ones with the ribbon on, I'm also going to put some foam on and prop them up to give them some dimension, and I'm just going to put them to the side there, where I've actually purposely put a gap in between my banners. This is where I take off the top one and reposition it because I wasn't happy with the look, and I just put it over the top there. There you go. Much better. I think part of the reason I didn't like it there is I'd sort of left it raised a little bit so that the card could come out, and it was sort of sticking up and it looked funny. But it looks way better now that I moved it. So there you go, just staggering them back on and just This adhesive here, the small one, is way easy to use with small strips like this. It's really, really quick. Definitely recommend it. What you can do if you're over worried about things not staying on or sticking, or you have issues, you can actually pop glue behind the adhesive as well, but I haven't done that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. There you go. Loving that look. Looks so cute. There you go. And I've just tucked the end of it just under the photo so it looks like it's actually cohesive and it's running all the way through, and I've done that the same on both sides with that ribbon banner there. So what I've gone and done is I've actually gone and I've had the ink machine heating up, and I used the Thermoware iCraft Deco Foil toner sheets to put, and on them I actually put half silver and half mint foil. And honestly, I always struggle with these. I can never get the foil to stay flat and cover the whole toner sheets. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I thought, oh, I'll just try it again because that's the colours that I want to put on there. And they'll be perfect to put through my star, what's it called, punch. So I did it anyway, and it came out, and you can see here that it's got the black and the silver and the black and the mint on all my stars, which have gone through the whole punch on that sheet. And I thought, and I looked at them because I wasn't going to, I looked at it and I thought, oh, here we go again. But when I punched them out, I was like, actually, that is a really cool effect. So, yeah, I just ran with it. So this is actually, so it's adhesive at the back. So just the outline stars, I stuck them on with the adhesive that was already on there. And all the littler stars I propped up with foam. And the other thing that I did when I went away is I got a piece of the Scrapbook.com, the double-sided adhesive sheets, and on one side I stuck a silver piece of cardstock to it, and I ran it through the Cuttlebug with the alphabet die there 3 times. It didn't quite fit the 3rd time, but it got most of the letters that you use all the time. So I thought, while I'm doing this, I may as well use it all so that I've got spares there for the next time. And that was to do my title. So if you can see on Dexter's top, which is my cousin, little baby there. It's got super cute little dude, and I thought, well, that can be my title. You know, he is so super cute. So decided to put the, do the die cuts with the silver, and I also had a sticker sheet with black lettering on it, so I decided to sort of make it really quirky little looking little title with that. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all of this because it's quite tedious, but I just wanted to show you what I used, and this die is actually quite easy to get them out, but some of them you need to stick something on the other side to pop them out, but yeah, it's pretty easy, just pop them out. Okay, so I'm just finishing off the title. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking off this adhesive off the back of the silver letters, and I'm just putting the tips of it on the roller just to help me keep the words straight because they're quite tiny and fiddly. And I'm also putting or using the black letters and doing the same with them on that as well. So that's what I did at the top, but I don't think you needed to watch me do all of that. So just be careful when you're doing this, when you're taking the leathers off, because they can rip if you're not gentle with it. So you just take your time when you're sticking it on. I think I've said this in one of my previous videos, but I am a messy worker. I always have been. I think I always will be. I need to see everything. Otherwise, I won't use it. If it's not right in front of me, I don't see it. Now I will, because most of this is DIY, the embellishments and everything like that. I don't know if I'll be able to link exactly where everything is, but the things that I can link to, I will put in my blog, which will be in the comments of this video. But if you've got any questions or you need any help with anything that you would like to try off this video, just flip me a message or an email. I'll be more than happy to try and help you. So these buttons that I've staggered around, I got this box of random things from someone off Facebook. They were getting rid of a few craft things, and I said, I'll have it. So yeah, and there was a whole bunch of buttons, and when I got it at the time, I thought, what am I going to do with all these buttons? I don't sew. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And when I came to this layout, I thought, oh, where are those buttons? So yeah, I went through and I picked out all the bright blue ones because I thought it needed some pop. So that's where they came from. And I've just staggered them through the page to give it some more colour and some more dimension. So with this border, well, not border, sorry, the title, I decided to trim around the edges just to give it some more interest rather than it being just straight box title. I sort of had envisioned like maybe sort of like a cloud. So what I was thinking was, you have your clouds in the sky, and then above the clouds are the stars. So that's how I was sort of thinking of the title, as a cloud and then the stars coming up above that. So that's why I decided to do it like that. It doesn't exactly look like a cloud, but that's my theory and logic behind it. And with the photos, I just backed this with the black cardstock again as well, just to give it that cohesive look. And that pop, that good old pop. And I do the same here, I just have that thin border around it. Okay, so my title's all done, and I'm going to pop that up on some foam tape. to make it cohesive with the photos. Okay, so now I've got my photos and my title where I want them to be. Now I'm going to get all my embellishments and just put them around the page where I want them to be. Make sure that I'm happy with that. So that it's sort of hard to see, but I make sure that I try not to cover up too much of the background silver dots and stars that I'd done at the beginning. So I'm sort of working my way around them and just propping everything. And sort of like a starburst that's coming from the top down to the title. So I'm just trying to get the balance right of the colours and the shape of what I had envisioned. And I won't make you watch me do all this because I fuss around for ages. Okay, so I've placed all the embellishments where I wanted them to be, and I've stuck them all down from the top down to where I am now. And I'm just showing you what I did. So yeah, just took the backings off the outline stars and stuck them down, and with the buttons I've used the Scotch tacky glue just for the buttons, stick them down, and the little stars I've put foam under all of those, just a little square bit of foam tape, and stuck them down so they're raised, and I've just done that all the way down to the bottom. So I don't know if it needed it, but I really wanted to use it as well. My final touches were to use the Perfect Pearls baby blue 3D paint, and I just popped some dots of that all around just to give it some more shine and shimmer, because I like my sparkles. I know it's a boy page, but you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think it's girly. I think it's boyish. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, so I'm nearly finished with this. Thank you all so very much for watching this video, and yeah, definitely let me know what you think of this layout, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thanks again, guys.